Hey guys, Nick Bosco here, and today we're going to talk about something a little different than I usually do. We're going to talk about boxing. So Jorge Masvidal just announced on the MMA Hour, actually just 20 minutes ago, as I film this, that he is going to be hosting his Gamebred Boxing event that's going to be going down on April 1st. And he started rattling off all these former UFC fighters. Amazing fight card. Something better than you might even see today on like a regular UFC Apex event or something like that. Okay, so let's look at some of these names. We got Pearl Gonzalez for Gina Mazzani, both former UFC fighters. I think Pearl was doing some bare knuckle, and now they're going to be boxing on one of the biggest cards. Paul Daly, amazing fighter. He's going to be fighting Anthony Taylor, who's been talking so much trash on social media. He was trying to get fights with Dylan Dennis. I know he's always trying to get fights with like Jake Paul and all them. And he's around that kind of like celebrity boxing vibe. So he'll be fighting Paul Daly. That's going to be a good one. Then we have Jacare Souza fighting Vitor Belfort. Two like older guys who like have been around the sport for a really long time. Kind of just, my thoughts on them is just, they're kind of just like trying to like hang on and just, make a couple more bucks and stay relevant. So that's going to be a good one. And then we have Jeremy Stephens versus Jose Aldo. This fight is good on many reasons because Jose Aldo retired from the UFC. He's still pretty young. I mean, although he's been around the sport for a really long time, people think that maybe like he's a legend of the sport, but he's not that old. He's in his 30s, and now he's going to be looking towards boxing. And I think Jeremy Stephens is a good matchup for him. Jeremy Stephens is kind of, he's been on like the down slope as well, but he's a big name in the sport of MMA. Now he's going moving to boxing, and they're a pretty good matchup. Then we have Anthony Pettis, who's going to be fighting Roy Joy Jr. as the headliner. Pettis, he's an interesting one because he was a champion in the UFC for a while there, and then he kind of went down. Then he went over to PFL. Hasn't been doing good in PFL either. Then he came on an interview recently and said like boxing was the next step for him, and he had been boxing some of the best names in the gym for like over 10 years, and he always knew that this would be the next step for him. So now he has it. Gamebred Boxing. But how did Jorge Masvidal get all this together? A bunch of these guys, left the UFC in hopes of, like turning their careers around or like getting some more money post UFC. Jose Aldo and Anthony Pettis are looking for the big boxing bucks. Everybody wants to go to the big boxing bucks. Francis Ngannou doing the same thing. He's leaving UFC to go to boxing because that's where the big money is. So how is Jorge Masvidal giving them this much big money?
They were super necessary.
He put out a couple of like bare knuckle events, I know, like last year, but now this is going to be a huge card. And he said it's a week before his fight in Miami, so it's going to be amazing. Let me know what you guys think about this card. I'm sure I'm going to be talking more about it in the future, but I mean, the news just happened 20 minutes ago, so I just want to get something out there really quick. As I said, I'm going to try and be doing more and more on my YouTube. Stuff like this. So if you like reaction videos like this, let me know. If you want me to go into more detail in the future, let me know. You can hit me up on Twitter also. It's at NickBoss, NIKBOS, or you can write in the comments. So yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.